Hi, this is Joe and Mike, and here we are with another Cigars 101. So, the first three videos that we did were educational videos. Cutting, lighting, how to choose a cigar. This one's going to be a little bit more on the funny side of things, and we're going to kind of talk about cigar etiquette loosely and cigar lounge faux pas. So, the first thing, one of the reasons that sparked this whole idea for myself, and I mentioned to Mike, and Mike's like, let's run with it, was the first thing that absolutely drives us both crazy is people who lick their cigar and then use a public cutter.
God, I hate that.
It's terrible.
You heard of the flu?
Oh my God.
You know, come on, man.
I'm not asking you to invest in a cutter, but cigars are, the cutter that's there for public use is that, public use. And to me, to be honest, I don't understand people's whole idea of what's the purpose of licking the cigar first anyways. If a cigar is well humidified, it is not going to blow up when you cut it.
True. I agree with you on that, but you know what? My biggest thing is it's like if you smoke at least 3 cigars a week or maybe 1 or 2 a week, get your own cutter. They're like $5 for a cheap one and like maybe $50 for a nice one. You know, do everybody a service and not get people sick.
So leads into the second one, which was the second reason why I did the video. This video was when you're done with a cigar, the cigars naturally die out. There's humidity in cigars. That's why you might have to light them often, or you might not. It might not continue to stay lit. Is because there's humidification in the cigar, and because of that, they go out period of time. So when your cigar is done and you're done smoking, there is no need to smash the cigar and kill the cigar. Totally unnecessary.
Just like so.
What it does is it puts off an off-putting aroma that you can smell. And it's just disturbing might be the wrong word, but it's not very pleasurable for the other smokers.
I agree with that. There's one other thing that Joe forgot when we were talking about this, we forgot to talk about is when you go in the humidor, don't pick up a...
Oh, handling was next, absolutely. We're getting into handling next. Those two right there were my two ones that drive me crazy.
Yeah, when you go to the humidor, I see people in there picking up a stick with cello on it, and they're sniffing it. What the hell are you sniffing? Plastic?
Definitely a move you can always tell a newer smoker picking up a cigar and trying to smell something, and there's, straight through cellophane. Which also is part of handling too. So picking up your cigar, please do not wipe your boogers all over the cigar. It drives me and everyone else nuts. And
again, it comes down to the germ factor too, because when you're like sniffing it and smelling the foot and then mishandling it, pinching it, and you don't buy that stick, somebody else is going to buy that and they're going to be pissed off about it.
Question I get often when people have humidors is, do they keep the cigar in the cellophane or take it out? And I've told people before, the only purpose of cellophane has to do with sanitation and shipping. So when they ship their cigars to us, they're worried about cracks with a cigar that has no cellophane. And sanitation purpose. That's the only reason why cellophane is on there. So, and if it wasn't for people that lifted up the cigar and stuck it in their nose, then it wouldn't have that issue.
I agree. So don't do it.
So when Mike ashes his cigar, the only thing you need to do with ashing a cigar is literally pull in the end and pull it back. People that punch their cigar and then they come back to me later wondering why their cigar cracked, well, don't beat it up. Tobacco is more fragile than a lot of people think. And I think that's the reason why you're running into, cracked cigars. I'm not saying that that's the only reason, but that is definitely a contributing factor.
When I see people do this, and then all of a sudden, my cigar is cracked. Well, no kidding. Come on.
So some other things that we were thinking about here were just kind of more on the funnier side of things is, Isan brought up this one, which was, I thought, was pretty great. Missing the ashtray trying to ash your cigars. The floor is not an ashtray. Unless you're outside, the floor is not an ashtray. Inside, use your ashtray.
That's what they're there for.
Respecting other smokers I've seen this before. I've seen people sitting next to someone else and they're just talking and then they'll blow the cigar right back in the other person's face. Which to me, I don't know, it's a pet peeve of mine. I picked my cigar for a reason. I didn't pick yours. So I don't want to smell your cigar if I don't have to.
Blow up if possible. That's all we ask. Blow up.
seen this more and more, and it's came into dipping your cigars into whatever you're drinking. Now, it doesn't matter what you're drinking. I don't care if you're drinking coffee or alcohol or whatever it is. Your mouth is already coated in whatever it is. There is no need to take the end of the cigar and dip it in the cigar. And then you're going to wonder why you're having draw issues later, because it's too moist. You're having your saliva mixed with whatever you just dunk it in. It doesn't make sense. And I think people do it a lot because they've seen other people do it and don't quite understand why they're doing it.
And another thing, me and Joe were talking about, don't smoke your flavored cigars near someone that's smoking a premium cigar. Why? Why would you do that? Potpourri does not smell good in a cigar bar. Please, no potpourri.
So and I think this comes down to, it's not just there's nothing wrong with smoking in a flavored cigar. If that's what you want to smoke, that's fine. But I think it's about respecting others in a small or enclosed environment. Again, this is more for cigar lounge etiquette than it is for cigar etiquette in general. So I've had this before. Is it okay if I smoke this, or is this not? Do you have to do it all the time? No, but I think it's a nice common courtesy.
If you want to have friends at the cigar shop, follow the rules and be nice to the person that you're smoking next to, because that's the worst thing to do is make enemies at a place you want to relax at.
And I came up with this when it was putting down other cigar smokers for what they smoke. So it was a very old tradition when you smoked a cigar, and this kind of developed in the UK, was right after you purchased your cigar, you lifted the band off. And the only reason why is to, whenever you were sitting in a lounge, if you were smoking a very expensive cigar and someone next to you wasn't, they kind of felt a little bit intimidated that they weren't smoking enough quality cigar next to you. To me, I've told people whatever it is. Smoke what you like. Don't make anyone else feel like you shouldn't smoke what you like. It's definitely, I feel free to go out and try different things, but don't feel bad that you're only spending an X amount of price point versus someone else. Smoke what you really like. I like when people leave the bands on, because to me it's a conversation starter. I mean, maybe you don't want to start a conversation, but to me, cigar lounges is why I love many walks of life smoking together, and it's one of the things I really do love about cigar lounges.
And I agree with Joe on that one. Leaving the band on, not to show how much I spend on my cigars or anything like that. It's just a conversation starter, because somebody who probably hasn't smoked that cigar, if they notice that band and say, "How's that cigar?" and then you have a conversation. That's part of why we come here, is to have a community and be very informative to each other. That's why we do these videos as well.
Now, it's been more commonplace the last couple of years that the cigar bands have been self-adhesive. But many older brands and older bands, what they do is they use the glue, same glue that they use to roll the cigar with. It's vegetable glue, it's non-toxic. So what they'll do is they'll put a dollop of glue on the back of the band. Now, if you wait for the ash to get closer to the band, it naturally heats up the glue, making the band easier to take off. So later on, you're wondering why, right after I pulled my band off when I first started smoking my cigar and it took wrapper. Well, that's why. So
that's pretty much it. One thing I want you to take from this: please don't smoke potpourri. If you do, do it in the corner or something. That's all I ask.
This, to me, it all comes down to is just, the cigars are about enjoying cigars and with other people. That's what this is all about. It's a community of people that smoke, people of all walks of life, men, women, it doesn't matter. This is what we do. We do to enjoy this. And anything else, Mike?
The biggest thing, the cigar shop's in here to make money, but I would not bring your own sticks. That is just disrespectful. Do you bring steak to a steakhouse? Hell no, you don't. Why would you bring a cigar to a cigar shop? Point. Done.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. So I think this is going to wrap it up for the video. We have nothing lined up for another Cigars 101. So in the comment section, put some ideas of what you're thinking about. One of the ideas I had is starting a humidor, as far as seasoning it and things like that, and some just general humidor info. Anything else you want to say, Mike?
Now, if there's any other cigars that you want us to review, or you want us to just elaborate on other things, please leave a comment. Thank you.
So next week we're going to do an Avo for Avo's birthday. He has passed, but we're gonna do one to honor the recently passed Avo Avazian. So we'll see you next week with another cigar review. I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
See you next week.